Welcome to Starbound Valor HFY. Subscribe now and dive into daily epic sci-fi adventures, where humanity always rises. Dr. Aaron Miles sat alone in the dim NASA control room, staring at the glowing monitor. It was almost midnight, and the building was silent, but Aaron's heart was beating fast. For the last 3 days, NASA had been studying a strange radio signal coming from deep space. At first, they thought it was a star explosion, maybe a pulsar, maybe a dying sun. But tonight something changed. The pattern inside the signal was not natural. It looked planned, like someone was trying to send a message, and that message was heading directly toward Earth. Aaron leaned closer as the computer decoded the first part of the signal. His hand shook a little when the screen flashed with simple English letters. Only 3 words appeared, but they froze the entire room. "We remember you." Aaron blinked, confused. The computer beeped again, as if asking him to continue. "What does that mean?" he whispered. There was no answer, just the sound of machines working and the soft hum of the building. He quickly called the other scientists. Within minutes, the quiet room filled with footsteps, nervous voices, and worried faces. People gathered around the screen. No one spoke. No one even breathed loudly. They all stared at the message as if it might suddenly change. "Is this a joke?" someone whispered. But Aaron shook his head. "The signal came from Kepler, 186F, he said. "That star system is more than 500 light-years away. No human has ever reached it." A female scientist, Dr. Sarah Lynn, stepped forward. "Run the DNA mapping again," she said. Aaron clicked a few buttons. The computer began scanning deeper into the signal. Lines of data raced across the screen. And then it happened. A second shock. The signal contained something impossible. Coded patterns that matched human DNA. Sarah gasped. "This is not random. Someone encoded our DNA inside the message." The room erupted into whispers. "Is it an alien? Is it some lost probe? Why does it know humans?" Aaron raised his hand to quiet everyone. "There's more," he said. He tapped the keyboard. A hidden section of the signal slowly opened. It held a strange rhythm, like a pulse, like a heartbeat. Everyone leaned in. The computer began shaping the sound wave into an image. At first, it looked like static, then like smoke, then slowly like a face. A human face. Someone who looked ancient, with deep eyes and strange markings on his skin. His lips moved as if trying to speak, but the audio did not work. The room fell completely silent. It felt as if the temperature dropped. People stared at the glowing face, unable to look away. Sarah whispered, "This man, he lived thousands of years ago. Before history. Before writing." Suddenly the image froze, and the lights flickered. The speakers crackled with a soft clicking noise. Then a robotic voice rose from the speakers, translating the message. "We remember you. Do you remember us?" Before anyone could react, another alarm sounded. A new signal was coming in, stronger and more urgent. Aaron opened it with shaking fingers. This time, there were coordinates. Star maps. Routes through space no human had ever seen. But something else happened thousands of light-years away. In a massive hall made of silver stone, the Galactic Council held an emergency meeting. 7 alien species sat around a glowing circular table. Their faces were tense, their eyes worried. The council leader, a tall blue-skinned being named Sarah, slammed his hand on the table. "Humans have decoded the first message," he said. "This will awaken memories we tried to bury long ago." A reptile-like alien hissed. "We should block the signal. Destroy the source. Humans must remain in the dark." Another alien, old and covered in golden feathers, spoke softly. "But what if the Ancient Ones send more messages? We cannot stop them forever." Sarah shook his head. "We must try. If humans discover their past, everything will change. Their true power will return." Everyone in the room fell silent. Far away on Earth, the NASA team watched in shock as a second image formed on the screen. This time, it was clearer. The ancient human face now looked directly at them, eyes burning with something powerful. Anger, warning, or maybe memory. Then the voice spoke again, louder and clearer. "You have forgotten who you were, but we have not." Sarah stepped back, her voice trembling. This is impossible. Humans did not exist in that star system. How can this man speak English? The lights dimmed again. Another part of the signal unlocked by itself. It showed ruins of giant cities, floating in space. Human-shaped warriors, holding bright energy weapons. A massive war between humans and strange alien machines. Aaron felt cold. This is history, he whispered. A history we never learned. The image flickered once more, then vanished. Only the 3 words remained on the screen. We remember you. Everyone stared in stunned silence. Then suddenly, one more message flashed across the screen, something no one expected. The Council hid the truth. And with that, NASA realized they were no longer dealing with a simple signal. They had stepped into a secret older than Earth itself. The truth had finally returned, and someone out there wanted humanity to wake up. High above the galaxy, far beyond human eyes, the great hall of the Galactic Council vibrated with tension. The room was enormous, built from shining silver stone that seemed alive, as if it remembered every sound ever spoken inside it. At the center of the hall was a wide circular table made of floating light, and around it sat the 7 most powerful alien species in the galaxy. They were leaders, rulers, and keepers of secrets older than Earth itself. Tonight, their faces carried fear of humans. Council leader Sarakin, tall and blue-skinned with bright white eyes, rose from his seat. His voice echoed sharply through the hall. The humans have decoded the first message, he said. This cannot continue. We must act before they recover their memory. A deep rumbling growl came from Korath, a massive reptile-like alien with green scales and long teeth. His claws tapped the table impatiently. We warned you, Korath hissed. Humans are dangerous. They were dangerous before, and they will be dangerous again. We should have destroyed them completely when we had the chance. A gentle voice cut through the anger. Leora, the golden-feathered matriarch, tilted her head. Her feathers shimmered softly like sunlight. Humans once saved the galaxy, she said quietly. We should not forget their sacrifice. But Korath slammed his fist. Saved? They nearly destroyed us all with their power. Their minds grow too fast. Their strength rises too quickly. They were created for peace, but they became warriors of chaos. Sarakin lifted his hand for silence. Whether they saved us or harmed us does not matter now, he said. What matters is that the ancient message reached them. They now know someone out there remembers them, and soon they will start asking questions. A thin alien with a metallic body, named Vidrix, floated slightly above his seat. His voice sounded like breaking glass. We should block the signal. Destroy the source. If humans continue decoding it, they will learn about the old empire. Many heads turned away when he said those words, the old human empire. A name never spoken aloud in the council. A memory they buried with fear. Leora looked sad. They deserve the truth, she whispered. But Sarakin shook his head firmly. The truth will break the galaxy. Humans once ruled half the known stars. Their empire was vast, powerful, and unstoppable. When the Great War began, we thought we could help them, but they did not trust us. They believed we were the enemy. The room grew cold as everyone remembered the war that nearly tore the galaxy apart. A war that ended with humans disappearing suddenly, as if wiped from existence. Vidrix's hollow voice returned. We erased their memory for a reason. If they learn what happened, if they regain their old abilities, nothing will stop them from rising again. Korath bared his teeth in agreement. And if they rise again, they will not forgive what we did to them. Leora's eyes filled with fear. We only sealed their memories. We did not harm them. We only wanted peace. But Korath laughed, a dark and heavy sound. Peace? You call it peace to erase a whole species' history? To force them back to the beginning while we lived in comfort? You are blind, Leora. One day, humans will remember. And when that day comes, we will pay for what we did. Sarakin walked to the center of the hall. A glowing orb rose from the floor, showing Earth in perfect detail. The small blue planet rotated slowly, unaware of the storm building around it. We must decide now, Sarakin said. Do we warn them? Do we stop them? Or do we prepare for war? The hall filled with whispers, arguments, fear. Some council members believed humans could be allies again. Others believed humans must never learn the truth. Suddenly, a sharp alarm echoed through the hall. A small screen lit up beside Saracen. A new report had arrived, straight from their deep space watchers. Saracen read it, and his face darkened. "A second message has reached Earth," he announced. "This one contains coordinates. Ancient coordinates." Vidrix's metallic eye glowed brighter. "They lead to the vault, don't they?" Saracen nodded slowly. "Yes, the Star Memory Vault, the last remaining archive of the old human empire." The hall erupted into chaos. Voices shouted. Fists slammed. Some demanded immediate destruction of Earth. Others demanded the council confess the truth before it was too late. Leora pressed her wings against her head, overwhelmed. "Why now?" she whispered. "After thousands of years, why are the Ancient Ones contacting humans again?" Saracen looked at the glowing orb of Earth. His voice softened, almost like a warning to himself. "Because the truth was never dead," he said. "It was only sleeping." For a long moment, no one spoke. The council stared at Earth, frightened of a species they believed they had controlled. But deep inside, they all knew the same thing. Humans were beginning to wake up. And once humanity remembered its true past, nothing in the galaxy would ever be the same. The atmosphere inside NASA had completely changed after the strange messages arrived from deep space. The hallways, normally noisy and busy, now felt tense and heavy. Scientists walked quickly with files in their hands, whispering in corners, avoiding eye contact as if every word they spoke might be overheard by someone dangerous. Dr. Aaron Miles felt this pressure more than anyone. Ever since the ancient human face appeared on the screen, he had been unable to sleep. The message kept repeating in his mind, "We remember you." He knew the government would react soon, and he was right. Early the next morning, a black car stopped outside the NASA building. A tall man in a dark suit stepped out. His face was unreadable, his eyes sharp and cold. He walked straight through security without showing any ID. People moved aside automatically, as if they instinctively knew he was someone who should not be questioned. The man entered the control room where Aaron and the team were studying the second part of the signal. "Dr. Miles," he said with a calm but heavy voice. "Come with me." Aaron felt a chill run down his spine. "Who are you?" he asked. "My name is Director Hayes," the man replied. "I work for a division you don't need to know about." Without waiting for a response, Hayes turned and walked down the hallway. Aaron followed, feeling a mix of fear and curiosity. They entered a restricted elevator that went down lower than any level Aaron knew existed. Hayes pulled out a metal key and inserted it into a secret panel on the wall. The elevator shook, then began moving even deeper underground. After a long silent ride, the doors opened to reveal a massive hidden floor. The room was filled with strange machines, old metal containers, and giant screens showing unknown star maps. At the far end of the room, a large sign read, "Project Echo." Aaron's heartbeat quickened. "What is this place?" he asked. Hayes looked at him with a cold expression. "The real NASA," he said. "The one the public has never seen." Hayes led him past shelves filled with dusty documents, strange alien-like devices, and old recordings. Many of the items had warning labels and dates from decades ago. "Since 1984, Hayes continued, "we have been collecting evidence of non-human activity in space. Signals, objects, and even biological samples." Aaron stopped walking. "Biological samples? Are you saying you found alien life?" Hayes did not answer. Instead, he placed his hand on a biometric scanner. A large vault door opened slowly, with a loud metallic groan. Inside was a dark room, filled with cold blue lights. At the center stood a glass capsule containing a small metallic cube covered in ancient human symbols, the same symbols that appeared inside the deep space signal. Aaron stared at it, shocked. This is from the same source," he said. Hayes nodded. "We found this cube in 1984. It landed in the Pacific Ocean inside a small pod. It took us 30 years to partially decode it. And now, the new signal you decoded uses the same technology." Aaron walked closer. His hands trembled as he looked at the cube. The markings seemed to glow faintly, reacting to his presence. Why was none of this told to the public? Why hide it, he asked. Hayes leaned forward. Because the truth is too big, he said softly. And because the truth does not only involve aliens. It involves humans. Humans who lived long before recorded history. Aaron felt like the room tilted. You mean, ancient humans had this technology? Hayes nodded once. Yes, and we believe they didn't originate on Earth. Aaron's eyes widened. The words hit him like a shockwave. Humans not from Earth? It sounded impossible, but after seeing the messages and the ancient face, maybe impossible things were real after all. Hayes continued walking and pointed at a large monitor. It showed the coordinates hidden in the second deep space message. This is not just a star map, Hayes said. It is an invitation. The screen zoomed in on a tiny distant moon located far beyond human reach. This object, Hayes said, pointing at the moon, is called the Star Memory Vault. It holds the lost history of the ancient human civilization. Aaron swallowed hard. So the message, it's calling us there? Yes, Hayes replied. Something, wants us to remember who we were. Aaron looked again at the glowing cube. He felt something strange inside him, a pull, like a forgotten memory trying to break free. Before he could speak again, an alarm began to ring across the underground floor. Red lights flashed. A scientist ran toward Hayes. Director, another message just arrived from the same source, but this one is different. Different how? Hayes demanded. The scientist handed him a tablet. Hayes read the message once, and his expression changed. Fear, real fear, appeared in his eyes for the first time. He turned to Aaron slowly. The new message says, Hayes whispered, that the council is coming. Aaron felt his stomach drop. He did not know who the council was, but the fear in Hayes's eyes told him one thing clearly. Whoever the council was, they were not coming as friends. The Galactic Council chamber grew colder as the alarm stopped and the screens dimmed to a soft red glow. Every alien leader sitting around the floating light table understood what the new report meant. The ancient truth they had buried thousands of years ago was rising again, and the humans, the species they once feared the most, were standing at the edge of remembering everything. Saracen slowly sat down, his long blue fingers tapping the glowing surface as he spoke. We must review the history, he said. The old history. The one we promised never to speak of again. A quiet ripple passed through the room. For centuries, the council had forbidden any mention of the old human empire. Even thinking about it was considered dangerous. But now, with humans decoding signals and the Star Memory Vault waking up, the council had no choice. Leora, the golden-feathered elder, folded her wings gently and nodded. The past cannot be hidden anymore, she said softly. Let us speak the truth before the truth speaks for itself. A hologram activated in the center of the room, projecting the ancient galaxy. Stars glowed bright, and around them floated hundreds of symbols, markers of the old human colonies. Vidrix, the metallic-bodied alien, floated forward and pointed at the map. This was the galaxy 10,000 cycles ago, he explained. Nearly half of it was under human rule. The hologram zoomed in. Giant cities hovered in space, wrapped in golden light. Massive ships shaped like wings glided between planets. Humans, taller and stronger than modern humans, walked through the cities wearing armor that shone like fire. Their eyes glowed with blue energy, a sign of the ancient power running through their blood. Korath, the reptile-like warrior, let out a deep growl. They were terrifying, he said. They were peaceful at first, yes. But once their power awakened, no species could stand against them. Leora shook her head. You only remember the war. You forget the centuries of peace they brought. They protected the weak. They built worlds out of dust. They ended the Dark Age. Saracen raised his hand. Both are true. Humans were guardians, and they were destroyers. The hologram shifted again, showing the beginning of the Great War. A massive dark cloud appeared, filled with machines shaped like monsters, creatures of metal, built by an unknown enemy. These machines tore through star systems, destroying everything in their path. The machine swarm, Saracen said. They rose from the void, and no one could stop them. But then the hologram showed something incredible. Ancient humans formed giant fleets and fought the machines head-on. They used weapons powered by their own energy. They bent gravity. They controlled light. Their ships moved faster than any technology known today. Humans pushed the swarm back, Vidrix explained. They saved the galaxy. Leora bowed her head sadly. But victory came with a price. Their power became unstable. Their leader, Emperor Arathos, warned that the human mind was evolving faster than it should. He feared that one day humans might lose control. Korath slammed his fist on the table. And they did. Their power turned against us. They began to see other species as weak and slow. They believed they were chosen to rule everything. Only some of them, Leora whispered. Not all. The hologram showed a terrible scene. Human soldiers fighting against alien allies, cities burning, planets falling into darkness. The human empire split into two, Saracen said. The Loyalists and the Breakers. The Loyalists wanted peace. The Breakers wanted total rule. The Council fell silent as the hologram displayed the worst moment of the Great War, the final explosion. A massive energy wave spread across the galaxy, wiping out fleets, destroying cities, and breaking human power forever. It was the moment the ancient human empire fell. After this, Saracen said slowly, the humans vanished. Only a few survived on a small blue planet, the one they once called their first home, Earth. Vidrix glided forward. The survivors lost their abilities, their technology, their memory. Everything was reset. They became simple humans again, weak, peaceful, confused. Korath hissed loudly, and we agreed to keep them that way. Leora closed her eyes, remembering the day the Council made the decision. We feared another rise of human power, so we sealed their ancient memories. We let them grow slowly, without knowing what they once were. Saracen stood again. His voice echoed across the hall. But now the ancient ones who survived the fall have awakened the vault. They have started sending messages. They want humans to remember. The Council stared at the last image in the hologram, an ancient human standing tall, glowing with blue energy, looking straight at the modern galaxy as if challenging it. If humans remember, Korath growled, they will rise again. Leora replied softly, or they will save us again. Saracen finally spoke the words no one wanted to hear. We cannot control them anymore. The lost human empire is beginning to return. And somewhere across the stars, the message continued to travel toward Earth, carrying the truth that would change everything. Deep underground inside Project Echo's hidden floor, the air felt thick with tension as Dr. Aaron Miles stared at the tablet in Director Hayes' hand. The alarm had stopped, but its echo still lingered like a warning inside the walls. The scientists gathered around Hayes, waiting for him to explain the new message from deep space. Hayes placed the tablet on the center table, and the screen lit up with strange glowing symbols, each one pulsing like a heartbeat. Aaron leaned forward, recognizing the same ancient markings from the cube NASA found years ago. But now there were more symbols, more words, and a completely new layer of the message. This isn't just another signal, Hayes said quietly. This is a warning. The tablet translated the message slowly, one line at a time. The first line made everyone freeze. The Council erased US. Aaron felt his skin crawl. Sarah Lynn covered her mouth in shock. The message continued. Do not trust them. The words were sharp, direct, and full of fear, as if someone from the past was desperately trying to reach humanity before it was too late. Then an image appeared on the screen. Ruins of a massive floating city. A city clearly built by humans long before Earth's known history. The towers were blackened. The bridges broken. Fire and smoke filled the air. And in the center of the image stood thousands of human warriors, wearing ancient armor, fighting against giant machine creatures shaped like beasts. Aaron stepped closer, unable to look away. In the ruins, he saw something unbelievable. Humans using energy weapons that looked like streams of light. Sarah whispered, "This is the ancient war, the one the Council hid from us." Hayes nodded. "There's more." He tapped the screen, and the next image appeared. It showed a group of alien species, members of the Galactic Council, standing together around a glowing sphere. Humans lay unconscious on the ground. The sphere was releasing waves of energy, waves that seemed to pull memories out of the humans, like smoke drifting from a fire. They erased their minds, Aaron said in disbelief. The council, they erased everything. Hayes took a deep breath. Yes, the message confirms what we only suspected. The council used a memory net to wipe the surviving humans after the Great War. They forced them to forget their power, forget their history, forget everything. The scientists stared at the glowing images, realizing how small they truly were in the face of this cosmic truth. The next part of the message played automatically. A voice, broken but still strong, echoed from the tablet. It was the same ancient human face from the first signal. But this time, the voice was clearer, deeper, carrying pain and anger. We were your guardians. We saved your stars. And they erased us. The room went silent. Everyone felt the weight of those words. The ancient human spoke again. The council feared our return. They feared the power inside us. So they hunted us. Those who survived at the vault. We sent this message to protect you. Hayes's eyes widened. Protect us? From what? Aaron looked at him with fear. Maybe from the council. The next image answered their question. It showed the council's fleet, massive alien ships, surrounding a human world. Weapons charged. Cities burning. Humans fleeing. It wasn't a simple war. It was a purge. A complete attempt to remove humanity from the galaxy. Sarah stepped back, trembling. They almost wiped us out. The message continued playing. We hid one thing the council never found, the ancient voice said. A memory inside the vault. A memory that belongs to all humans. Suddenly the screen filled with star coordinates, lines connecting into a map of the galaxy. The map zoomed toward a small moon, the same moon Hayes had shown Aaron earlier. The star memory vault. But now, for the first time, the message revealed the final truth. Inside the vault, the voice said, is the record of who you truly are and what is coming. The last image made Aaron's chest tighten. It showed Earth, modern Earth, surrounded by shadows of something approaching from deep space. Then the image shifted to show the council meeting hall, the alien leaders watching Earth with fear. The ancient voice whispered one final warning. When they come, do not believe their lies. They fear you. They always have. The message ended abruptly, leaving the room cold and silent. Aaron looked at Hayes, who finally broke the silence. We must reach the vault before the council does, he said. If they get there first, they will destroy it. They cannot let humans remember their past. Aaron felt something awaken inside him, a sense of responsibility, maybe destiny. Then let's go, he said. We have to know the truth. Hayes stared at him for a long moment, then nodded. Prepare the team. We leave at dawn. And as the underground lights flickered, everyone understood the same terrifying reality. The Forbidden Archive had revealed the truth, and now the race to remember humanity's real history had begun. The morning sky over NASA looked calm, but inside the building chaos slowly grew like a silent storm. Every scientist in Project Echo moved quickly, carrying reports, scanning messages, and checking equipment for the secret mission to the Star Memory Vault. Dr. Aaron Miles stood at the main console, trying to focus, but his mind kept returning to the ancient human warning. They fear you. They always have. The words felt heavy, like they were meant for him personally. Sarah Lynn joined him, handing over a new file. The signal is changing again, she whispered. It's becoming stronger, almost like someone is forcing it through a barrier. Before Aaron could reply, the ground vibrated. The lights flickered. The computers rebooted by themselves. A deep ringing hum filled the entire building, like a giant engine activating somewhere above Earth. Scientists froze. Some looked toward the windows. Others grabbed emergency phones. Aaron rushed to the control screen. A new object had appeared on the satellite radar. Something massive, something fast, something not built by humans. Is that a meteor? Someone shouted. No, Aaron said, his voice shaking. It's slowing down. Everyone stared as the object changed direction smoothly, almost like it was gliding through space, with no resistance. The radar zoomed in, and the image became clearer. A dark metallic ship shaped like a crescent moon, covered in glowing alien symbols. It wasn't hiding. It wasn't damaged. It was arriving. Sarah gasped. "That's a council ship." The entire control room went silent. Then the ship sent a signal toward Earth, directly to NASA. The speakers crackled. The lights dimmed again. A cold mechanical voice filled the room. "Earth vessel, respond." Director Hayes rushed in as if he already knew what was happening. "Do not reply," he ordered, waving his hand at the communication officer. But the voice spoke again, louder this time. "Earth vessel, you have opened the forbidden signal. Stop decoding immediately." Aaron felt anger rise inside him. "They're trying to shut us up," he whispered. Hayes stared at the screen, his expression dark. "The Council has not contacted Earth for over 4,000 years, he said. "If they are speaking now, they must be afraid." Suddenly, the alien ship projected a beam of blue light into the sky. The beam spread across the clouds like a scanner, sweeping across North America. NASA's computers detected the scan instantly. "They're searching for something," Sarah said. "Or someone." The alien voice returned, now sharper and more commanding. "What you are decoding does not belong to you. Stop accessing the vault coordinates. This is your final warning." Hayes slammed his fist on the console. "Mute them." The speakers went silent, but the ship outside did not leave. Instead, the blue scanning light concentrated directly above the NASA building. A giant hologram activated in the sky. An enormous face of a council member, Saracen. His glowing white eyes looked down at Earth with a mixture of disappointment and fear. "Humans," Saracen said, his voice echoing across the clouds. "You are not ready for what you are trying to unlock. Turn away from the ancient message. Forget the past. Forget the vault. Forget everything." People in nearby cities looked up in shock. Phones recorded the sky. Social media exploded with panic. But inside NASA, Aaron clenched his fists. "Why are they so afraid?" he asked. "What are they hiding so badly that they would appear above our planet?" As if answering him, the hologram flickered. Another secret layer of the message appeared, showing a vision of the Great War. Ancient humans defeating giant machines with incredible power. Saracen's voice grew harsher. "Your ancestors destroyed galaxies. Your ancestors broke the balance. Your ancestors nearly ended us all." Hayes stepped forward. "If that is true," he said quietly, "then why did you erase them? Why hide the truth?" Saracen's eyes narrowed. "Because your species cannot control its own power. Because your minds awaken too fast. Because when humans remember, the galaxy burns." The hologram vanished. The ship's energy level spiked. The council vessel began to descend lower, closer to Earth, glowing brighter like it was preparing for something. "Are they going to attack?" Sarah whispered. Hayes shook his head. "No. They want to scare us. They want us to stop searching for the vault." But then something unexpected happened. The deep space signal, the ancient human message, forced itself through the council's interference. NASA screens flickered violently, showing a blurry figure. It was the ancient human leader again. But this time he looked furious, almost alive. His voice boomed loudly, overpowering the council broadcast. "Do not listen to them. The vault is yours. The truth is yours. Your past belongs to you. Go now, before they reach it first." For a moment, both messages overlapped, the ancient human calling humans to awaken, and the council demanding them to forget. The room trembled with the power of the conflicting signals. Then everything went dark. The ship outside stopped scanning. The hologram disappeared. The building lost power for several seconds. When the lights returned, Hayes turned to Aaron with a grim expression. "Now you see it," he said. "The council is not here to help us. They are here to stop us." Aaron nodded slowly, his voice steady. "Then we have no choice," he said. "We go to the vault." Hayes placed a hand on his shoulder. "Prepare yourself." First contact was not a greeting, it was a warning. And far above Earth, the alien ship stayed in silent orbit, watching, waiting, knowing the humans were now truly awake. The moment NASA restored power, the entire building filled with a restless energy, Like everyone felt the same truth at the same time. There was no turning back. The alien council ship hovered above Earth like a silent judge, its dark surface glowing faint symbols, as if preparing for something bigger. Dr. Aaron Miles stood at the central screen, staring at the last message from the ancient human leader. Go now, before they reach it first. Those words repeated in his mind again and again. For years, he had dreamed of finding something that proved humanity's forgotten past, but now the dream had turned into a race against a power far older and stronger than Earth. Sarah Lynn rushed into the room, carrying a tablet filled with new data. The coordinates from the signal are locked, she said. We finally have the full location of the star memory vault. Aaron looked at her, his heart pounding. Where is it? Sarah hesitated. Not on Earth. Not even close. It's hidden near the Helios Rift, on the far side of the solar system. The place where every probe we sent disappeared. Director Hayes joined them, his expression tight, but determined. Then that's where we're going, he said. We launch Echo 1 immediately. Echo 1 was NASA's most advanced ship, built secretly, built fast, and built with technology reverse-engineered from old crashed Council drones. It was the only human vessel capable of reaching the outer solar system quickly. As the team ran to the launch hangar, the ground trembled again. The alien ship above Earth was moving. Slowly, steadily. It turned toward the same direction as the vault coordinates. They're going there too, Sarah whispered. Hayes didn't slow down. Of course they are. They want to reach it before we learn the truth. Inside the hangar, Echo 1 stood tall, glowing with blue thrusters and polished armor. Technicians rushed around it, running safety scans and preparing the final launch systems. Aaron placed his hand on the ship's hull, feeling a strange connection, as if the ship itself knew this mission mattered more than anything before. Sarah checked the oxygen systems, while Hayes called the U.S. government through a secure channel. We're leaving now, he said. We cannot wait for approval. If we delay, the council will lock us out forever. The answer he received was short and fearful. Go, and God help all of us. With the final countdown starting, Aaron, Sarah, and Hayes boarded the ship. The doors sealed. The engines hummed with a deep vibration that felt almost alive. Aaron strapped himself into the command chair. Echo 1 ready for launch, he said. Destination, Helios Rift. The control tower responded. You are clear for launch. But before the engines ignited, an alarm went off inside the ship. Sarah's monitor flashed red. The council ship is powering a faster-than-light jump, she yelled. Aaron's pulse quickened. If the council reached the vault first, they could destroy it or seal it forever. We launch now, he shouted. Hayes hit the override. Launch sequence, manual start. The engines roared. The ship trembled. The hangar floor cracked under the force. With a thunderous blast, Echo 1 shot upward, tearing through the atmosphere. Clouds twisted around the ship as it broke the sound barrier. The alien ship moved too, ascending, adjusting, matching their trajectory. They're tracking us, Sarah said. Let them, Aaron replied. We're not stopping. As Echo 1 left Earth's orbit, stars filled the windows like a frozen sea. Behind them, the council ship glowed brighter, revealing its full gigantic size, like a floating city made of metal and light. Then, without warning, it activated its jump drive. Space around it folded inwards like a collapsing curtain, and the alien vessel vanished in a silver flash. They jumped ahead of us, Hayes said. They'll reach the rift before we do. Sarah quickly typed commands into the ship's console. Not if we push Echo 1 to maximum speed, she said. But it's dangerous. The hull could tear. Aaron shook his head. We have no choice. The ship engines burned hotter, vibrating violently, almost shaking the crew from their seats. Warning lights flashed across every panel, but Echo 1 pushed forward, cutting through space like a comet. Days passed like hours. The deeper they traveled, the darker space became. They passed the Neptune orbit, then drifted beyond the known territories of the solar system. Strange blue storms appeared in the distance, massive energy waves circling the Helios Rift. Sarah stared out the window. The rift, it doesn't look natural. Aaron nodded. It's a shield. Someone built it to hide the vault. As they approached the rift, the ship's sensors detected something huge on the other side. A massive ring-shaped structure floating in the void, glowing with ancient lights. "That must be the entrance," Sarah whispered. But then Hayes pointed at something else. Shadows moved near the structure. Ships. Alien ships. Multiple council vessels already there. "We're too late," Hayes said. But Aaron shook his head slowly. "No," he whispered. "We're just on time." Because at the center of the alien fleet, something was happening. The ancient ring was unlocking. Blue light spiraled outward. The vault was opening, and both humans and aliens were about to witness what had been hidden for 10,000 years. Echo 1 entered the edge of the Helios rift like a small spark, drifting into a giant storm, shaking violently as waves of blue energy pressed against its hull. Inside the ship, alarms rang again and again, but Aaron held the controls steady, refusing to slow down. The ancient ring structure ahead glowed brighter, each symbol across its massive surface lighting up one by one like someone was turning them on from inside. Sarah stared at the screen, barely breathing. "This is impossible," she whispered. "The vault is waking up on its own." Around the ring, the council ships formed a circle, their engines humming with a strange red light. They were not attacking. They were waiting, watching, preparing. Director Hayes leaned forward, confusion growing across his face. "Why aren't they entering? What are they afraid of now?" But before anyone could answer, a shockwave exploded from the ring, sending ripples through space like a giant heartbeat. Echo 1's lights flickered. The council fleet shifted nervously. And then the ring opened. A crack split straight down its center, releasing a burst of golden light, so bright that the ship's windows dimmed automatically. The light moved like liquid, swirling into a tunnel that stretched deep into a hidden chamber beyond normal space. It didn't look like a doorway. It looked alive. Aaron felt a strange pull inside his chest, as if the vault itself recognized him. "It's calling us," he said softly. But at that moment, the lead council ship moved forward. Its engines glowed dark blue, and its massive crescent shape tilted toward the entrance. "They're entering first," Sarah said. "They want to claim the truth." Hayes shook his head. "No, they want to destroy it before we see what's inside." As the council ship began to glide toward the golden tunnel, something unexpected happened. The ancient ring flared again, brighter and stronger than before, and a massive barrier of pure white energy emerged from it like a shield. The council ship slammed into the barrier, bouncing backward with a thunderous vibration that echoed across space. The alien ship drifted away, engines flickering. The barrier pulsed once, then turned completely transparent. Only one path opened, toward Echo 1. Sarah gasped. "It's choosing us. It's letting humans enter and blocking the council." Hayes exhaled slowly. "Then this is no longer about discovery. This is destiny." Aaron guided Echo 1 forward. The ship crossed the barrier smoothly, like passing through warm mist. The moment they entered the golden tunnel, everything changed. Sound disappeared. The controls stopped responding. Even gravity felt different. Sarah checked the monitors. "We're not in normal space anymore," she said. "The coordinates, they make no sense." The walls of the tunnel shifted like waves, showing blurry images. Ancient battles, star maps, giant machines, humans with glowing eyes controlling energy with their hands. "These are memories," Aaron whispered. "The vault is showing us the past." Suddenly the tunnel ended, and Echo 1 emerged into a colossal chamber, floating in a void that had no sky, no stars, no up or down, only a sea of golden light stretching endlessly. In the center of the chamber was a monolith the size of a skyscraper, made of dark stone and covered in human symbols older than any language on Earth. The monolith pulsed gently, almost like it had a heartbeat. Aaron stepped toward the window, unable to look away. This is the Star Memory Vault." The ship landed automatically on a platform that rose from the light like a bridge. Hayes checked the oxygen levels. "We can breathe out there," he said, stunned. "It's like the vault created a safe environment for us." They disembarked the ship slowly, stepping onto the glowing platform. The air felt warm, and the silence was heavy, like the chamber was waiting for something. Aaron approached the monolith. As he touched its surface, symbols lit up beneath his palm instantly. Sarah grabbed her scanner. "It's reacting to you," she said. "But why?" The monolith emitted a deep hum. Then the chamber shook violently. A hologram rose from the monolith, huge, towering, and shaped like a human warrior made of light. His armor glowed silver. His eyes burned like white fire. His voice thundered across the chamber. "Descendants of Earth," he said, "you have finally returned to the truth." Hayes took a step back. "You're real." The hologram nodded slowly. "I am Archon Solis, last guardian of the human empire. Before the council erased us, before they stole our history, we placed our greatest memories here, waiting for the day our children reclaimed them." Aaron's heart raced. Why did the council fear us? Archon looked down at him, his expression heavy. "Because humans once shaped the stars with our minds alone. Because we created wonders the galaxy could not match. Because when the council decided we were too powerful, they attacked us. But before we fell, we hid the truth here." Sarah swallowed hard. "What truth?" The chamber darkened. The monolith glowed brighter, and Archon's voice echoed like a storm. "Humans are not the youngest race. You are the oldest. The first ones. The ones who built the galaxies. The ones who survived the Great Void. And the council was our creation." Aaron and the others froze. They could not breathe. They could not speak. Archon continued, his voice low but powerful. "They were made to protect you, but they betrayed you. And now they are trying to stop you from remembering who you are." The chamber trembled again, heavier this time. Then Archon spoke a final warning, his voice sharper than before. "They are breaking in. The council is attacking the vault from outside. You must unlock the last memory before they reach you." The golden light dimmed, alarms echoed, and the ancient vault awakened fully, just as the council prepared to invade. The golden chamber shook harder, as if a giant hand was striking the walls of the vault again and again. Echoes of distant explosions vibrated through the glowing floor, and dust-like light drifted from the ceiling. Aaron, Sarah, and Hayes stared at the guardian hologram Archon Solis, waiting for answers, but Archon was already turning toward the monolith, his form flickering with urgency. "The council is forcing their way inside," he said. "When they enter, they will destroy everything, including you." Sarah stepped closer. "What do we do? How do we unlock the last memory?" Archon placed his glowing hand onto the monolith. Symbols spiraled upward, forming a long line of light that reached the top of the massive structure. "One of you must connect," Archon said. "The vault will only open for a true descendant, one who carries the ancient spark." Aaron's heart pounded. "Why me?" Archon turned his burning white eyes toward him. "Because the vault chose you the moment you touched it. Your blood carries the old signature. Your mind is strong enough to hold the memory. But once you connect, there is no turning back. The truth will change you forever." Before Aaron could answer, the ground shook violently. A crack appeared in the chamber wall. From the outside, blue streaks of council weapon fire blasted against the vault barrier. Hayes looked toward the sound. "They're close. We're running out of time." Archon raised his hand, and a platform of light rose beneath Aaron's feet, lifting him slowly toward a glowing panel on the monolith. His heart raced faster with every second. Sarah shouted from below, "You can do this, Aaron." Hayes nodded. "The whole human race is counting on you." When Aaron placed his palms on the panel, the monolith responded instantly. A surge of golden energy rushed into him, like a river of fire and memory mixing together. He gasped, unable to pull away, unable to breathe, unable to think. Images flooded his mind, cities that floated above stars, ancient humans controlling gravity with their hands, ships bigger than moons traveling between galaxies in seconds, warriors made of light fighting machines that looked like living shadows. He saw the moment the Great War began. The Council, once loyal protectors, feared humanity's growing power. They predicted humans would one day surpass even the creators of the universe. In secret, they built weapons to restrain their own masters. When the humans discovered the betrayal, the war started. Galaxies burned, civilizations fell, and the human empire collapsed. Standing in the middle of this memory storm, Aaron cried out. The images kept coming. He saw the last humans sending out the final signal, the same signal NASA had decoded. "One day our children will rise again," the ancient leader said. "One day they will claim the stars that were born from their hands." Archon's voice echoed inside Aaron's mind. "This is who you are. Not weak, not lost, not small. You come from the first race to shape the universe." The memory ended with a single message: reclaim the throne of stars. Aaron felt the last burst of power rush through him. Then everything became silent. The platform lowered him back to the ground. Sarah ran to him. "Aaron, are you okay?" He inhaled slowly, his eyes glowing faint gold. I saw everything." Hayes stepped forward. "Then what is the last memory? What is the final truth?" Before Aaron could answer, the chamber wall cracked again, this time breaking open completely. The council forces entered like a swarm of shadows, their tall armored soldiers, marching through the breach, with glowing weapons pointed at the humans. Behind them, a massive projection of Saracen appeared, towering above the soldiers, his face burning with anger and fear. "You should not have opened the vault," Saracen said. "You were never meant to remember." Hayes stepped in front of Aaron protectively. "We know the truth now. You cannot stop us." Saracen's voice shifted into a deeper tone. "If you try to reclaim your old power, the galaxy will fall into chaos again." Aaron stood straighter, his eyes glowing brighter. "No," he said. "You are afraid because humans are waking up. You fear what we once were." Saracen's image flickered violently. "You were destroyers. You were tyrants. We saved the galaxy by erasing you." Archon's hologram stepped forward, towering over both sides. "Lies," he thundered. "We built worlds. We protected the weak. The Council betrayed us to take control." The vault chamber shook again, not from attacks, but from the activation of something deep beneath the floor. The monolith began to rise slowly, revealing a circular platform glowing with thousands of tiny star-like lights. Archon pointed toward it. "The vault has unlocked its final function. Whoever steps inside that circle will awaken the buried human power. It will choose one leader to carry the spark." Saracen roared, "Stop them!" Council soldiers raised their weapons, ready to fire, but the vault reacted, forming a shield of golden energy around Aaron, Sarah, and Hayes. Archon spoke his final warning. "Only one may enter the circle. Only one can awaken the ancient power. If he fails, humanity falls forever. If he succeeds, the true humans return." The vault lights swirled faster. The council forces prepared to attack again, and Aaron stepped toward the glowing circle, knowing that whatever happened next would decide the fate of every world in the galaxy. Aaron's heart pounded as he stepped into the glowing circle at the center of the vault. The golden lights beneath his feet shifted and swirled like liquid stars, wrapping around his body, filling him with warmth and power he had never felt before. Sarah and Hayes stood just behind the shield, watching silently as the energy began to pull something ancient from within him. The hologram of Archon Solis raised his hands and spoke in a voice that echoed across the chamber. "This is the spark of the first ones. It has been waiting for you, descendant of the ancient human empire. Embrace it, and remember who you are." Aaron closed his eyes as a surge of memories. Millions of years of human history, knowledge, and power rushed into him. He saw the rise of civilizations across the galaxy, the battles with the machine swarm, the creation of floating cities, and the mastery of energy and light. He felt the strength of his ancestors, their wisdom, their courage, and their responsibility. His body glowed, golden light spreading from his chest to every part of him. He opened his eyes and realized he could see the chamber differently now. He could feel the energy of the vault, the life force of every human who had ever lived, and the presence of the council ships outside. Saracen's image appeared again, towering above the chamber, his eyes full of fear and disbelief. "Impossible," he shouted. "Humans were meant to be weak." Aaron raised his hands, and a wave of golden energy shot out, pushing the council soldiers back. The vault reacted to him, forming shields, creating barriers, and even warping the space around the intruders. "We are not weak," Aaron said. his voice echoing with power far beyond human limits. "We are the first ones, and we have returned." Outside, the remaining council ships tried to attack, but the golden energy spread from Aaron's body like a tidal wave, forcing them to retreat. The floor of the vault shifted, and giant symbols floated into the air, aligning in complex patterns. The monolith pulsed with light, responding to Aaron, recognizing him as the true heir of the human empire. He felt knowledge streaming into his mind: how to use the energy of stars, how to control gravity, how to protect life across the galaxy. He felt the wisdom to rebuild, the power to defend, and the responsibility to lead. Sarah and Hayes watched in awe as Aaron's body glowed brighter and brighter. Sarah whispered, "It's incredible, he's becoming one with the vault." Hayes nodded slowly. "The council underestimated us. They thought erasing our past would erase our future." Aaron stretched his hands outward, and the energy reached the ceiling, then spread across the entire chamber. Council ships outside were forced back even further, unable to penetrate the protective field. Their leader, Sarakin, looked down at the golden dome surrounding Echo One and the humans inside. Fear and anger twisted his face. "No," he hissed. "This cannot happen." But Aaron did not answer. Instead, he focused on the vault itself, drawing knowledge, power, and memory into his body. He felt the spirit of every human ancestor guiding him, whispering the same command: "Reclaim your destiny." Then the floor shifted again, forming a massive staircase of light leading upward into a central control point. Aaron walked up, each step radiating energy that pushed back the council's attacks, creating a sphere of golden light that surrounded the vault and extended far into space. When he reached the top, the monolith opened like a giant book. Inside, the last memory of the human empire unfolded before him: the final battle with the machine swarm, the betrayal of the council, the hiding of the vault, and the promise of rebirth. Aaron absorbed it all. He understood every tactic, every weapon, every secret the council had hoped to keep hidden. He felt their fear, and he knew how fragile their empire truly was. Archon's hologram appeared next to him, bowing slightly. "You are complete," Archon said. "Now the humans will rise again, and no force can erase your history or your power." Aaron raised his hand, and the golden energy erupted outward, creating a protective sphere that stretched across the solar system. Council ships were caught inside, forced to retreat and hide. Their authority over humanity was broken forever. On Earth, satellites detected an enormous energy pulse reaching every continent. People all over the planet felt it, a surge of warmth, courage, and awakening in their minds. Humans everywhere began to see flashes of memory they did not understand, hints of an ancient power that had been hidden for thousands of years. Aaron turned to Sarah and Hayes. "This is only the beginning," he said, his voice calm but filled with authority. "We have the knowledge, we have the power, and we have the truth. Now we rebuild, and we protect humanity from those who try to erase us." The vault pulsed one last time, bathing the chamber in golden light. Aaron felt a deep connection to every human who had ever lived. He was no longer just Aaron Miles. He was the first of the reborn human empire, the heir to a legacy that spanned galaxies, the one who would guide humanity back to the stars. And as the golden light spread across space, touching every planet, every ship, and every hidden corner of the solar system, Aaron knew one truth with absolute certainty: humanity would never be weak again, and the stars themselves would remember their name.